Thinking about busking but feeling nervous? You are not alone. Many beginners worry about what songs to play, what equipment to bring, and how to handle the very first performance. So on this video I am going to share the steps that help me get started, and more importantly, how to build your confidence along the way. Whether you're here to grow as a musician or to push yourself out of your comfort zone, this guide is for you. So let's start with the first step, which is getting a busking permit. The first step is very obvious. You can't busk with a peace of mind if you don't know the rules. So the first thing that you have to do is just research on Google if you can busk without a permit in your city. Just type on Google something like busking in London, or busking in Florence in Tuscany, or busking in Hong Kong. Wherever you're living, just type on Google if you can busk with a permit or not. And also check if there are restricted areas in your city where you can busk.
You should not be here.
You probably want to busk in the neighbor's garden for some reason, or I don't know, in the middle of the road or on a footpath, but obviously you can't busk in those places. So just do your research and see where you can busk. After doing your research, you're finally ready to go busking. And this brings us to step number 2, which is your first time busking and set list. Most of the time, busking is a free performance, which means that no one is expecting you to play for 8 hours straight like a regular job. This in theory also means that you can play only like 1 or 2 songs if you want.
Not bad! Not bad at all!
If you are a younger musician, just go with your mom or your dad on the street and ask, "Mom, can you ask that busker if I can play after?" And if the busker says, "No, there is already someone else after me," just go to the next one and ask again. And wait for your turn. As I said before, you don't have to play like for 1 hour or 2 hours straight. When I went on the street for the first time, I had only my guitar, no microphone and no amplifier. And I went on the street only for like 30 minutes, because I just wanted to try it and have a feeling for what it's like to be on the street out there by myself. But if you want to play for longer, I recommend to have a set list of at least 1 hour, which is around 15 or 20 songs. Just pick the songs that you know already well. This will give you a solid foundation for your busking set and plenty of songs to pick from. So you've taken the plunge and gone busking for your very first time. Congratulations, you're officially a busker! And this leads us to step number 3, which is getting a basic equipment. At this step, you don't need anything too fancy, just focus on the essential. For us singers, our main instrument is our vocal cords. To sound our best and to protect our voices, getting an amplifier is probably the best idea. The first big advantage of getting an amplifier is that more people will be able to hear you. And the second important advantage is that it helps protect your voice by preventing you from straining it. The street can be really noisy, and without an amp, we often tend to sing louder to be heard. An amplifier like the Boss Cube Street 2 or the JOYO BSK40 is really a great investment to kickstart your busking adventure. And also, never forget to bring a bottle of water with you.
Water! Please keep water!
Whatever your main instrument is, think about its limitations, its main weaknesses. I don't know, maybe you have a trombone or you have percussions. Probably they don't need to be amplified on the street because they are naturally quite loud. But if you use a violin, or you just sing, or you are playing a flute, it's probably a good idea to pair them with an amplifier. Now that you have experienced busking, have a good set list, and have a basic equipment, it is time to focus on a crucial step, which is building confidence. There are 2 main reasons that now looking back have helped me to build confidence. The first one is that I played the same set list over and over again for months. And the second one was not upgrading my gear for I think like 2 or 3 years. You see, if you focus too much on being perfect, like getting the best amplifier or the best microphone or the best guitar to sound your best, you will lose focus on what matters the most, which is building your confidence.
That makes sense.
And the best way to build your confidence is through repetition. Play the same songs many times a day for weeks or even months. By doing this, you will develop a performance habit, which means you will be more and more confident with your material. And once this becomes a habit, performing those songs will feel effortless, like brushing your teeth in the morning. And at the same time, you will learn how to adjust properly the EQ on your amplifier for your vocals and guitar, and how to use the microphone effectively. Also, remember that busking for the first time, it shouldn't be only focused about making money. If that's your main focus, you will probably be disappointed. You should be out on the street for the first time because you want to enjoy that moment of being on your own and just share your music with the people. If it happens that also the people on the street are enjoying your music, they will probably give you a tip. And you have to consider this as a bonus, not as something that you are expecting them to do. If you don't get many tips on your first sets, don't be discouraged. There are many factors on the street that are not under your control. Construction works, alarms going off, or maybe there is a cow on the street on that day.
Hey, there's a cow.
What I want to say is that don't let the results of your first day busking define your expectations. If you don't make much, don't take it personally. On the flip side, if someone tips you €100 on your first day, that's amazing, but don't assume it'll be like that every time. Later on, if you decide that busking can be your main career, then yes, the income from busking will be your main focus. But at this stage, on your first busking sets, my advice is to treat busking as a free form of art, where the main reason for you to go on the street is your own enjoyment, and hopefully the enjoyment of the passerby who happen to hear you. So far, we've talked about the steps to build up your confidence, but now in the next steps, we are going to see how to bring your performances to the next level. And this leads us to step number 5, which is busking is a show. At its core, you are out there hoping to receive some donations, right? That's a big reason why many of us start busking. But to truly connect with people and encourage those donations, you have to think about your performance as a mini concert. Here are a few things to keep in mind. Let's start with engagement. So don't look at your instrument the whole time, or don't just stare at the ground while you're playing the guitar. You should make eye contact with the people passing by. Acknowledge them while they're looking at you. Do like a quick smile or a quick thank you at the microphone, something like this. Next, we have visual presentation. So putting some effort into making your setup looking presentable, it can make a big difference in your performance. If you look at your setup, does it look like nice and tidy, or does it look like your wardrobe at home?
Tidiness makes things look bigger.
Next, we have reading the room. When we are on the street, we tend to get lost on those lyrics sometimes. So you close your eyes, you start playing that song, and then you remember that you heard that song when you were with your friends in that holiday, in that nice island in Italy. But you have to find the balance between your emotions and connecting with the audience. You know, it's great to get lost in the music, and that's what we musicians naturally do. But it's also great if you notice a kid or a passerby who is smiling at you and you see that they are liking your performance, and maybe you can think about playing a song that is similar to that one. There are some songs that kids like and that person is liking, and you can play something similar, and this can encourage more donations.
Hadn't even really thought about that.
Busking is a show, and wanting to make the best impression and deliver the best performance naturally leads us to step number 6, which is upgrade your gear. Now that you've been busking with your basic equipment for a while, you've learned how to get the most out of it. And you're probably starting to see that some improvements here and there could enhance your performance. For example, after busking for 3 years without upgrading my initial setup, I decided to get an EQ pedal, a reverb pedal, a stomp box, and more recently, a new amplifier. You might also want to consider getting a busking sign. A busking sign with your name and your social handles can make your setup look more professional. It's completely up to you whether you want to get a new amplifier or a new guitar or a better microphone or a new trombone. You have to see what can upgrade your performance. But always remember that these are just tools to improve your performance. A truly strong performance is built on your confidence and on the habits that we discussed in the previous steps. With an upgraded gear helping us deliver an even better show, we are ready to go in an exciting part of our busking adventure, which is challenging yourself. Congratulations, you have finally reached the most inspiring step of your busking journey. This is where things get exciting and nothing can hold you back. Now you can increase the set list and learn that song that you have always wanted to learn and sing on the street. You will also learn how to avoid too much competition on the street by trying new spots, or why not just go and play in another city. That's another way to avoid competition. You can try different pedals, EQ, loop pedal, or maybe also invite someone to sing a song along with you during your busking set. Or why not live stream your performance on the street? Everyone has a phone now, and so you can easily live stream your performances. And why not also using your busking performance as a content to make a YouTube channel? I never thought about that. There might be even times where someone will ask you to play at a gig in a pub or for a wedding. Your busking journey is now like a snowball rolling downhill. The more you play, the more opportunities will come to you. You have now the tools and experience that will take your busking performance far beyond the street.
That sounds great!
At this stage, you're likely someone who busks a couple of times a week. And most importantly, busking has become a habit for you. It is something that you can do without too much effort, because you have already put in the work to build your confidence, and you can finally play on the street with a peace of mind. My advice at this final stage is don't ever forget why you started busking in the first place. Remember the feeling of the first time. Remember that value and what it meant for you. Personally, when I went busking for the first time, I felt free. I felt in a new adventure, a breath of fresh air. Remember to nurture that feeling and have fun. And now, if you want to know the basic gear that I used before any upgrades, this video has you covered. This is it, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you with the next one.